You know, we're so excited about this new product. I have to tell you, I took one home with me. I misted it for a few days. I thought, this silly thing is never going to grow. I went downstairs one morning, and there was this bulge in the package. And then suddenly, it was like you could stand there and watch it grow.
It's incredible how fast they grow. Like, which one did you have?
I took home the blue.
The blue oyster.
Yeah.
It's a great starter because it's easy to cook with. It's easy. They're all easy to grow, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But yeah, it's like in front of your eyes. You go away for a couple hours, come back, and you're like, did it just get bigger? It's amazing how fast at the end the mushroom grows. But
so what we're talking about is Lone Star mushrooms, locally grown, right?
Absolutely. 15 minutes down the road from here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me why do I want to grow mushrooms?
So that's a great question.
Yeah.
It's something that I never thought of until a few years ago when someone's like, you should grow mushrooms. I'm like, I don't like them and I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
But the more I learn, I got just so fascinated with it. And there's so many ways you can use mushrooms to help the environment, to help you personally. To start with, you ever think of how we're going to get to Mars and build structures?
Right.
Well, we're going to take mushrooms with us. And the mycelium, which is the roots of the mushroom, is going to help form these structures to live in.
No way.
They're already doing it. NASA's already working on it. It's really cool. Another example why mushrooms are so beneficial, you can use them to eat plastic. They're working on that right now, so they help clean up our environment.
Yeah.
But you're like, well, what about me? I want to know what they're going to do for me.
Right.
They're so nutritious. They're extremely high in protein, different kind of nutrients. They're the only food that you can get vitamin D out of.
Okay.
But they're very, very, very low in calories. So eat them up. You're not going to hurt yourself by eating too many.
But they're just easy to cook with as well, right?
Very, very easy. Some people get intimidated because they're like, what's a pink oyster? What's a lion's mane? What's a blue oyster? Don't let that scare you. When in doubt, saute butter and garlic. It's super delicious. How can you
go wrong with butter?
Right. You can't.
No.
Be careful. I cooked the lion's mane the first time, and it just soaks it up, and I literally put a stick of butter in there, and it was all butter.
I got you. Well,
I don't know if it was still healthy.
Last time we visited, you were going to go home and make crab cakes with it.
Yes, that's another cool thing. Like the white button mushroom at the grocery store, it's kind of boring. But with the lion's mane, you can make crab cakes out of them. You can make a Philly cheesesteak out of them, a patty melt, risotto, put them in omelets, casseroles. I'm kind of getting into the blue oysters now, but there's so many different ways you can cook with. But again, just keep it really simple and just cook them in your pan with a little butter and garlic. Smother a steak with them. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's really delicious. But
so,
as far as growing them, to dive into that, everything's here at Arbor Gate. The box is ready with everything that you need in it. And all you really have to do, remember those chia pets?
Yeah.
Chia. It's kind of the same step. All you have to do is remove the tear out in the front, and behind it is a fully myceliated block. So it's got everything in it. The mushroom's ready to grow. All you have to do is take a clean knife, cut the bag open, and then you're going to take your mister bottle, and you're going to mist it every single day. There it is. Mist it every single day, 3 times a day.
Right.
Just like you did at home.
Yep.
Not very challenging. And the trick part is that people mess up most of the time is you'll try to put it in a closet, somewhere dark, because we think mushrooms grow in the dark, which the white button mushrooms do, but these ones need light. So put them on your kitchen table, and it makes a beautiful centerpiece, and just watch it grow. A week later, 2 weeks later, depending on the type, you'll have a full 1 to 2 pounds of mushrooms sitting there ready to eat.
And you really do.
Yeah.
I set mine on the cabinet where it got good light, but away from the air vent and not direct light, not in front of a window.
Exactly.
Okay.
Too much air movement will dry the mushrooms out.
Okay.
So they like the humidity. That's why next to the kitchen sink's a great place for it.
Right.
Just where the humidity is a little bit higher. We're going to get into the season of air conditioning. Don't get me wrong, you can grow mushrooms any time of the year, but be mindful if you're running the heat or the AC, it's going to dry that air out. So just be mindful. Look up and go, oh, there's an air vent. Don't put it there.
Okay. And so now when I go to harvest, you said it's about a 2-pound harvest, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And so I will just slice it free.
Yep.
Keep misting, and I get another one?
Exactly. There's quite a bit of energy in this.
Yeah.
So the second flush, you're going to be about half the first one.
Right.
But that's all you got to do. And I've had a lot of folks that buy it, they forget. They're like, oh yeah, my mushroom kit, and then they look over and there's another mushroom growing out the side of it. So that's 2 flushes are really good. You can get 3. I've heard people getting 5. I tried to hire that person.
Yeah.
They were killing it. But usually after the second one, that's time to go, okay, let's do something else with the block. So there's a couple things that you can do at this point. Now that the mushrooms you've already harvested, you put it in your fridge, you chopped it up, you had it on your pizza that night for dinner or risotto. Now you're like, what do I do with the block?
Right.
So at this point, you can do 2 or 3 things. One, you can break it up, put it in your compost with your garden. It is phenomenal. It adds a phenomenal benefit to your garden. It exchanges a lot of nutrients with the plants that are there. It brings in a lot of different microorganisms to your garden bed. I can't tell you how many local community garden folks that have come and pick up the spent blocks at our farm and just say how unbelievable it is and what it does to their gardening, from getting rid of insects to helping build up the nutrients in the garden and getting vegetables greener than they've ever been, fuller than they've ever been. It's just, it blows my mind. They show me before and after pictures and it's just insane.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So that's one thing you can do is just break it up, put it in your flower bed, garden bed. The second thing you can do if you want to get a little more involved, you can turn it into what we have here is the 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, I love this. I was wondering what that was crawling out of that bucket.
So this is our pink oysters. All we did was take the kit that was inside of here. We got some hay, sterilize it with some hot water, strain the water out of it, put the hay in the bucket, took the bag that's in here, put it in here, broke it up, scattered it throughout, put more hay, put more substrate, more hay, more substrate, and filled it up. And we already had holes in the bucket, and then that was it. We kind of just
So did you
forgot
moisten
about
this before you put the lid on?
We soaked it in water, yes, exactly. If you go to our website, we're going to have a video on how to do that step by step. Or go to our YouTube channel, Lone Star Mushrooms, and you'll find it. And then again, you just do the same process, but you have a bigger version at the cost of a bale of hay and a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket. This is the second flush on the pink oysters. We've already harvested it once. And we did the blue oysters at the farm. We got 2 pounds off of it.
Really?
And we're already working on the second flush. It's just started, so I figured I'd bring these ones out since they're already growing.
They're so pretty.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, they really are.
I always tell people, take a picture before you cook them because,
they'll never look the same. Okay. Well, now, if you don't have the room or the inclination to grow them, tell me about this if we're just going for the healthful benefits.
Absolutely. So mushrooms are so beneficial for you as well as with regards to health. Some people like quick and easy. My generation, I'm sorry, we're just like...
Instant.
Yeah, exactly. With that, you just take it, it's a dropper. You just add your water, coffee, tea, something hot, something cold, does not matter, every single day. It'll help boost your immune system. It helps with nerve growth. This actually helps with memory and focus. This one's lion's mane. They just released a study in the Neuromedical Journal talking about how this helps promote nerve growth, which is what's going on in our brain, nerve growth factor. Yeah, me too. It helps with memory, focus, immunity. Mushrooms as a whole does all of that. They all have that foundation of immune booster, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. So another one that some of a different generation might struggle with is inflammation. So mushrooms really help with that. But again, it's a little bit easier, I get it, than growing it. But growing it is a lot of fun.
Well, for the kids too.
Yes.
Whenever they grow something, they're more likely to eat it and like it.
100%. And at the farmers markets, I can't tell you how many people come here and be like, oh my gosh, your kids love these mushrooms. They're so good. And it's a great way to get kids introduced to something that's
healthy,
not as boring as the white button mushroom you get at the grocery store. Not saying anything bad about the white button, but these are just a completely different night and day from what you typically eat at the grocery store, for sure.
Perfect. Well, thank you. And they can get these here.
100%.
They can get this here.
100%.
And they got to do this on their own.
They're on their own, but we'll be happy to help in the process.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Beverly. We appreciate it.
All right.